Hello! Wow! Look at this, a drawing stream. It is very quiet right now because I was trying to get something set up. I thought my old music was getting a little bit too old. And so, I have something set up which will, from YouTube, play a playlist that is completely royalty free. However, I am scared that it will suddenly play something that is not royalty free. But let's see. Let me know if this works. It should show up. It should be playing. However, this also means I cannot monitor my own stream. But listen to that! New music. Maybe I'll put it a little bit more quiet. But yeah. Boom. Official drawing stream. It has been a long while. And I ended up pushing it back from yesterday. I said in chat that it was very hot, which it was, as well as I have been very tired and my throat was still not happy. Unfortunately, yesterday was the strangest and most executive dysfunctional day that I have had in a long time. But now, it is finally here. And I am very excited to do this because Jinshi and Mao Mao are some of my favorite characters. I completely stopped watching anime until Apothecary Diaries came along. Once I think I'm out, they pull me back in. And now again, I have a list of anime that I want to watch. All thanks to Apothecary Diaries. But I have a sketch prepared. So, let's see what it is. This is not the official sketch, but I just wanted to draw something really funny. Let's get into the actual sketch. See, the thing with Jinshi and Mao Mao, I mean, the name already kind of says it, she's very cat-like. I love the dynamic between these two. And just today, it's gonna be a fairly short stream. I decided to do it chibi style because I figured it's less detail. Maybe I can finish it in one stream. I've done drawing streams before, but oh, they are usually take a lot more than just 1 hour or 2 hours. Usually they take 6 hours or more to actually finish. But now I should be able to do it. So I'm gonna start with some line art. I do have some references. Look at them. Look at my boy. I love him. He is absolutely obsessed with her. She doesn't want any of him, but at the same time she kinda likes him. I really love this type of dynamic. It's not something you very typically see in a lot of anime, at least not anime that I am used to personally. But it is quite nice. Okay, I need a little bit of a thicker line. I'm gonna be focused a little bit more on the drawing itself, of course. But anyone who wants to come and have a chat too, I am more than willing to. It's just gonna be a chill stream. Ooh. Okay. One thing I do figure that I need to rethink is how I stream in general, because I've noticed since coming back to stream, my original plan was to just have a few streams back to back to back. Which I thought, you know what, that's convenient. For those days, those are just stream days, I don't need to worry about anything else. However, unfortunately, it backfired a little bit. As you may have noticed, I've said a little bit more about that my body did not enjoy doing all of the streaming work again. Even though it's not like a whole lot, I need more rest than the average person, so I might do next week a little bit more spread out streams, and maybe only 2. Because I also have some other work that I need to get done. This music is very nice though. I liked my jazz music, but this is very nice indeed. I discovered it from another person who also did drawing streams quite a lot. And I kind of just joined it. It's free anyway, so, you know. I'm monitoring chat on my phone this time as well, instead of on my normal other screen. For drawing it's just easier because I need to have references up as well on another side. I can have them here, but if I need to look anything else up, it's on the other screen. She's so grumpy. I wanted to draw her like a cat, by the way, fully cat-like, because I don't think I've seen anyone do that yet. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But I just thought it was funny. Plus I wanted to see if I could capture her likeness as an actual cat, instead of just cat behavior. Wah. There we go. I'm just thinking about the series again, but yeah. I am gonna talk a little bit about how I actually discovered the series and my experience with it in general. Because this stream is something that I want to use both to like finish a drawing, but also to convince some people who have maybe had it in the back of their mind to watch this series to actually start watching it. Whoa. When I first heard of it, it was from some friends of mine actually, which usually is not how I find a series. Usually it's maybe on Twitter or anything else that I see some people talk about something, or I see a clip of something and I just tend to ignore it for about a year. And then after that I think, maybe I should watch that one thing, which I kept seeing. And then usually most of the time it's like, oh goddamn, that's kind of peak. I should have picked that up earlier. I don't know why I have this habit, but I just do. But so my friends, I was in a voice call with them, and they were talking about something. I didn't know what at the time, but I heard something of a frog, this and that. Those who already have seen the series will know exactly what they mean by the frog, but I was just completely clueless. My friends were, of course, luckily nice enough not to actually spoil anything, but at the same time I don't think I would have cared much at the time, because I did not even know what they were talking about. I did, however, like pretty much immediately went looking into what those characters were, what their dynamic was, and that's what settled it for me, honestly. Because usually in a lot of anime, the female characters are extremely annoying. I'm not gonna lie, usually they are. They're not very likable. But Mao Mao is just a gremlin. And that's... she's not just a gremlin, like she's incredibly smart, but she has an actual personality. Ooh. That's really what sold me on the series in general. And then of course, the dynamic in and of itself was super nice. Women be yapping and shit, yeah. But I like hearing Mao Mao yap. Her yapping is really nice. Also, welcome in. But usually it's like annoying in the way of they're constantly screaming, or if like, say, guy flirts with girl, guy gets slapped, and I am very tired of that. I am very tired of that kind of thing. I think that's the main reason I stopped watching anime, actually. I just was not a fan of the stereotypes, I guess. But these two, they actually feel like people. They feel like they could be real. Even though the setting they're in is horrifying for its own time, if you really think about it. They make it into something really nice. Yeah, one anime a year. Yeah. I completely stopped watching for many years. I think almost 8 years that I didn't watch any anime at all in total, and now I've already watched 2 full animes, both, ironically enough, with a main couple. I think I've talked about the other one. A Sign of Affection. That was the one. I completely finished that one. That one... Oh, it made me feel single. I have not felt single like that in a long time. Oh, my soul hurts. Manga is very nice though, yeah. I've also never really gotten into manga much, except, funnily enough, also Apothecary Diaries. It's taking a lot of my firsts. In... I think it was... Oh god. One of my streams. Monster Hunter. I was doing the Monster Hunter stream, and just before I was gonna start, the books of Apothecary Diaries that I had ordered came in. I've been going through them, and seeing the difference between manga and anime is definitely interesting. One thing I can say without, like, spoiling anything at all is that the manga is strangely more spicy. At least more quick to show that Jinshi really likes Mao Mao. I think it's mainly because just in a lot of popular anime they don't want anything that's too obscene, I guess. I don't know, maybe they're trying to keep it more child-friendly. But at the same time, how child-friendly can you make a series that includes murder mysteries? Which is technically what the anime is. Cerberus, hi! Nice to see you again. Yeah, it's been a while, but it's okay. It's nice to see a familiar face again. Welcome in. We are just chilling, having a little chat here and there. Well, I'm desperately trying to get the right line for for this. Okay, close enough. There we go. I think getting the right lines in general will always be a struggle for me. I can never get it right the first time. But that's fine, that's what art is. Whoa. I did also find the name of the one anime I was talking about during the Dwarves Rock and Stone stream. Hold on, I did write it down. What was it? Heaven's Official Blessing, that's what it was. Apparently it's very gay. Or well, very gay, but they're again not allowed to show it publicly all that much because of censorship. But I kinda wanna get into that one. I've not really been spoiled on anything, except the fact that one of the characters is not who he seems to be at first. But that's apparently more common knowledge than I thought. But I think that might be a nice watch as well. Ah, damn it. For Carl, I think I don't know that reference, I fear. If it's from that series itself, I don't actually know anything. Except from like a few clips here and there that I've seen. But the guys seem to have a fun dynamic. Which, honestly, I'm all for. Oh yeah. A lot of anime are definitely overhyped, but I can say Apothecary Diaries deserves the praise. It is very nice. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. Oh, okay. Thank you. Made in Abyss. I've heard of that one. I've not watched it yet. I will say Apothecary Diaries is not gonna blow you away in like, oh, this is so genius, but it is refreshing, I can say. Like, the character interactions are very nice. Everything is very nicely thought out. The murder mysteries are very interesting, I will say that. For some of them, I genuinely had to rewind and think like, okay, give me a second to process all of this, because you've lost me. I am a little bit stupid. I've learned like a strange amount of things in terms of medicine though. For example, the fact that a baby is not allowed to have honey, and this is an actual real thing. You cannot feed a baby honey because it is technically just poison to them. They've not yet developed anything that can fight the microbes or whatever is in honey. So it's really deadly to them. Just, it's a good thing to know, actually. I wasn't aware of that. I definitely have, like, Mau Mau's interest in plants, but not as heavily as her. But, like, for indoor plants and this and that, it would be nice to figure out, like, which herbs have a bit more of a medicinal effect, because I know there's a bunch of things that work very well against mosquito bites, which I desperately need. For some reason, mosquitoes really like alien blood. I don't know, maybe it's exotic to them. I caught one last night just on my arm. I just grabbed him and threw him away. It's unfortunately that time of year where mosquitoes will just nibble on everything. Ooh, I'm glad I chose this music actually. This is very nice and calming. And then it stops. Alright. I'm gonna just mirror this honestly because it's about the same. I will say getting Clip Studio Paint has definitely been worth it. Not just because of the whole 3D model thing, that kind of thing is handy, but I love this line brush. Look at that. Oh. Oh. So good. This has become a graveyard for ladybirds. You mean ladybugs? Ladybirds I've never heard of. Maybe that's something different. Ladybugs in Dutch have a very sweet name, by the way. Ladybirds look like ladybugs, but they're not the same. Ah! Huh. Interesting. I've never heard of those. But in Dutch, the name... I'm gonna see if I can translate this properly. Is... love bugs, actually. If you translate it directly from Dutch. Gentle ruler beastie. Ladybugs are very nice, honestly. Especially if you have a lot of plants, which I have. I wish I had ladybugs indoors. Because they would destroy so many of the pests that I had to deal with. They stink like sting bugs. Ow! They're oh no! Oh god, okay, I hate that. They are pests. Okay, yeah, I can imagine. They're not... They do not have the ladybug reputation, unfortunately, then. The thing with the ladybug here is... I don't know if that's in other cultures as well. It says that if it lands on you, and then it lands on another person, that means you're gonna fall in love with that person. That's why it is called a love bug. in Dutch. Is that true? I don't know. I've not had it happen yet. I do wonder where such myths come from. But it is a cute thought. Imagine how easy it would be. Technically, that would make the bug Cupid, wouldn't it? Here we go, look at him. Look at my boy! I'm not gonna draw the hair cap because I don't know. I just don't like that about his design for some reason. I know it's maybe a cultural thing, but I like it more when his hair is completely loose. Without the little cap. I did have a bit of a think of which streams I was gonna do next week, by the way. But I have to ask you guys something. I had something in mind of doing an ASMR stream. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but I have, in technicality, 2 microphones, so I could try to set up binaural. But I don't know what kind of ASMR you guys would prefer even at all. I would just like get a bunch of things that make nice noise and, you know, try to make actual traditional ASMR. But I don't know. I don't know if I should just stick with 1 microphone or if I should try to do the dual setup, which would make it binaural. I'd have to do some testing, honestly. See, I'm not gonna play a character, that's the thing. I don't trust myself yet. I'm not an actor. I would be laughing if I were to actually try and play a character. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm gonna try, like, normal traditional ASMR, as in the way of, okay, we're just having a bit of fun, we're just trying to make actual ASMR. Ooh, I'm scratching your brain. Ooh. That kind of thing. It would be a fun little creative exercise, though, to just find anything in my home that would maybe function as an ASMR item. I'm gonna try to stay away from anything metal, though, because I know not a lot of people like that. Unless maybe my rings. I guess rings can make, like, ASMR noises. Yeah, I am very far away from ever trying to do an in-character ASMR live. I don't think that's for me. I do not have the confidence, I do not have the skills. Plus, that kind of thing usually works better if you have a lot of people there as well to, like, act with you. So it's a bit more of an improv thing. You bounce back and forth between chat. I will try my best not to laugh too hard during just the regular ASMR stream, though, because I will blow out the mic. For ASMR, the problem is you cannot really put much of a compressor on there, because then it kind of fucks up all of the noise. But I'm gonna have a look in how I set everything like that up. Maybe I can find a way that I can protect your ears in case something does fall or make a really loud noise, because I don't I don't want to have a bad reputation for that. The whole thing about ASMR is to relax. But back on more of Apothecary Diaries. After I discovered it and promptly binged the first season, it was then time for me to actually go to the Addo concert, which I spoke about a little bit here and there. And funnily enough, while I was walking around with some of my friends before the concert, we found several bookstores, some of which had a manga session. And I've discovered a new skill. It does not matter which series it is. If you let me, personally, open a manga book randomly on any page, there will always be boobs. I don't know why. I gave it to some of my friends and they tried to open it on a random page and they didn't get it. They gave it back to me. And I just got boobs again. I just have a magical power. Something new I discovered. But I of course also found Apothecary Diaries. Also immediately with boobs in my face, because apparently that's my thing. Oh god, the hair looks a little stupid. It kind of looks like a bit of a tentacle. You're just a natural perfect. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not trying to look for it, I just get it. Oh. I have the wrong color selected. Oopsie. Okay, there we go. I do not ask for boobs, I just receive boobs. I do not go looking for them, they go looking for me. We are not the same. That is a thing to think about though. Just random little quote-unquote skills that a person can have, which serve no function, but maybe a cool party trick. Do you guys have anything like that? The edgy always comes to you instead. Yes, unfortunately. I have like one other party trick that I can do, but it always just sounds sus. I don't remember if I've done it on stream before, but I can clap with one hand. However, it does not sound like clapping. That's all I can say about it. I don't want to get... like, I would say I don't want to get demonetized, but I just don't want to get a random strike to say like, hey, you're doing sexual things on stream, that's not allowed. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm just clapping with one hand! What do you mean? Thumb can bend 90 degrees backwards. Yes, that does count! Not a lot of people are that flexible. Flexibility is usually one thing that you can, well, flex on a lot of people. That is one thing I actually did when I was, like, after the Ado concert with a friend of mine. I have officially now met the most inflexible person on Earth. My friend, they could not even sit down on their knees. Which is something I believe most people should be able to do. But apparently they just couldn't. I am one of the more flexible boys. I can do some very strange seated positions and be completely fine. I don't think I can do a cat bridge or anything like that though. I'm flexible, but not that flexible. Yes, my boy, look at him! Ah! Alright, now just his clothes. I'm never good at drawing folds. Oh man. The struggles of an artist. I might, like, once I'm done with this drawing in general if I have time, because there are some people coming over, so it will just be a 1-hour stream, which I completely forgot about the fact that people were coming over. When I moved the stream at first on from Saturday to Sunday, but we have enough time. I might show some of the sketches that I tried to do before, but they just didn't work out. Because some of them are like cute-ish ideas, but sometimes creativity just works against you and you cannot actually do the thing you want to do. It just looks wrong. It's why I settled for a bit of a chibi style. Could put your legs in the back of your neck. Genius. After an episode of Jimmy Neutron. That is so very specific. I love that. That is actually, you know, that reminds me of something else. One thing I always like to ask people is what their first conscious memory was. So like when you were a little baby or whatever the hell, what was the first thing you remember? And it's usually one of two things. Either, from the things I've heard, there's like nothing interesting, or something terribly traumatic caused like a wake up. For example, falling down the stairs. Riser, hi, welcome in. Nice to see you. Look at her. Without the sketch. Hold on. Where's the sketch? Boom. Wow. Wow. I've not drawn animals in general in a long time, actually. Just now I was talking about your first, like, childhood memory. The first memory you ever got becoming conscious. That's something that I like to ask a lot of people. Because it's always either a really boring or a really interesting answer. It's a bit of a 50-50. Sheen who had this Buddha arc. Damn. So you just literally flexed on everyone since childhood. Run! I welcome in! How dare you call me Lilk? That should be illegal. You know, one day you guys are gonna see actual Lilk. This is a threat, by the way. You guys are gonna see what Lilk actually is, because right now, none of you actually know what it is. You're just assuming what it is. Ah! My drawing program fucked up. No! Come back! Okay. There we go. I saved just now because sometimes a drawing program will crash and I don't want to lose everything that I just did. First conscious memory is at age 2 playing Tetris. Ooh. Interesting. Gonna make a plushie that looks like you but a glass of milk? I don't know. I don't know. No spoilers. I'm not spoiling anything yet. I'm just saying. This is a threat. You will find out. One day. The weather is better today, yeah. Yesterday, genuinely, I stayed in bed for 4 hours. I was awake at 7. And I was just like, nah. Nah, I think I'm good. A plushie in general does sound nice though. I like plushies, but the problem is you need quite a long process, but maybe one day I can get a plushie of sorts that you guys can actually get your hands on for a hopefully fair price. I don't want to make it anything that's like stupidly high priced. Oldest memory is from when your mother took you to the beach. Oh, that's a cute memory. It's a really cute memory. See, sometimes you also get wholesome ones. The wholesome ones are usually more rare that I hear. For me, I struggle to remember what my first memory is most of the time. I think what my first conscious memory was I was just... I don't know if... It's not really on the traumatic side, but I was just left completely alone and there was nobody. No one. No one in like any kilometer or any distance of radius. I was just completely alone and I was just like, well, where did everyone go? I don't remember anything after that, but that was my first memory. Where I just suddenly realized like, oh, everyone left. One day we could possibly get our hands on Lynn. You are correct, but I don't like the way you worded it. On a plushie version of me. See, it would... I like my Gabriel plushie a lot. I love the idea of a plushie with a gigantic head. For some reason, I don't know why, I love plushies that have a big head. So maybe you guys will also get a plushie of me with a gigantic head. Also, even remember your first night memory. God damn, that's a very good memory. I know that some people remember being born. That's one of the things. That's why I sometimes like asking that question, like, hey, what's your first conscious memory? Because some people remember being born, which is extremely rare. Usually your brain makes it so that you forget everything, but some people remember everything. I don't know how. They remember everything from growing up, which is very fascinating to me. But yeah, no worries. If you don't feel like sharing your first memory or anything like that, then you don't need to. Especially if it's very personal, because usually those things are kind of personal. Sometimes it's a silly story, but it can be times where it's quite personal. Garroting myself with a shoelace. I don't know what garroting means, but I don't think that sounds very good. Were you like trying to become a caterpillar with it? Okay, almost done with the line art of my boy. He just needs a little bit more hair at the bottom because this boy's hair is long! Which layer should I do it on? This. There we go. I think that is... Nope, I forgot the folds. Just when you think you're done. Sawing yourself with a shoelace. I'm glad it was a shoelace and not anything else. Okay. Oh dear. Kids will do a lot of strange things, to be fair. I know one of my bestest friends ate glitter as a child and still ate glitter while they were an adult. They never stopped. I don't think they eat glitter anymore now. Maybe they look for like the actual edible glitter, because yes, that does exist. There is glitter that you can eat. Probably for cake or something like that. But kids will do a lot of strange things. First memory was being in a high chair eating jelly beans. Ooh. You were in jelly bean heaven. Nice. I don't think I've ever eaten jelly beans, actually. No, I haven't. Huh. Surprisingly enough, even though I do baking and this and that as a bit of a hobby, I don't actually eat a lot of sweets. Ooh, sorry. Usually I try to avoid anything that's sugary or like the typical candy type stuff. I tend to avoid that for some reason. It just doesn't work with me. Oh, stretch. I cannot speak. There we go. Retroactively remembered how I almost smashed against a wall. Oh no. Oh. I've smashed against a lot of things as well, but usually, funnily enough, more as an adult. I don't know how I got this habit, and I don't intend to have it, but I tend to run into doors a lot. I don't know why. I don't have any problem with my vision. It just happens a lot. Not quite as bad as falling down the stairs, but it's whoop! It's up there. God damn, did I move the background? Yes, I did. You guys saw a brief second of the sketch I did before, which I don't think anyone who came in late didn't see that. That's the first thing I drew because I thought it was funny. The only sweets you really enjoy are chocolate, chips, and biscuits. That's very fair, yeah. Alright. Get away, you're smudging the screen. See and you approve, hell yeah. I just, listen, when I thought of what to draw, the meme of those two people kissing was the first thing that came into my brain. And I couldn't help myself. I just thought it was too funny. On to coloring. I think I'm gonna make her, like, almost entirely green, because she's fully a cat. Green cats don't exist? Well, now they do. I'm so glad that the bucket tool exists. Thank you for saving my life so many times. Oh. There we go. And her little belly. You used salt to preserve the egg in your grandparents' backyard. See, honestly, that's just being creative. I love that kind of thing. Just kids trying to invent new things, even though they don't really know anything about how the world actually works. They're just trying to be creative, try new things out. That's usually a good sign. Even though to adults it might look a bit stupid. It's really not. It's just a sign of a healthy child. Even if it is a bit silly, every now and then, what they actually try and do. I did know of someone who, as a kid, used to make potions. Which is... well... it depends on what they were mixing. Just think for a second, like, what a child will find and try to mix together. I'm so glad that they never ended up accidentally making mustard gas or anything like that. Mixing a bunch of things together is also always a little bit dangerous if you don't know what said chemical is. Cerberus, you had a mission. You just wanted those jelly beans, nothing else. It's admirable. You could not be separated from them. Legos being a healthy alternative. Do not eat Legos, please. I know playing with them is fun. Never let a child eat a Lego, please. Children will literally eat anything that fits into their mouth. Or doesn't fit into their mouth. You know, sometimes they're feeling a little bit confident and they think like, yeah, this'll fit. I'll put it in my mouth. Which I also understand is a part of curiosity, but still... ugh. That is one thing I do find a little interesting though, is how different human kids are from most animal kids, because most animal babies, they will be standing and running so fast. And human babies are useless for like 12 years. Only like around age 12 can they really start taking care of themselves a little bit. I don't know how to say it, but this is a very frog-like song. The meow meow meow. I don't know why. It's very fitting. Meow 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 meow. Oh my god! I just saw the timer. I have 8 minutes left. Oh shit. I need to be aware for anyone who didn't hear me talk about this a little bit earlier. I forgot that people were supposed to come over, so I do need to really keep an eye on the timer. But I will be doing more of this sketch in my free time, and I will post it maybe on Discord and Blue Sky. I'm gonna stay away from Twitter in terms of art. Unless I like use one of those anti-AI layers, which I do have. And they do sometimes work, but they muck up the drawing quite a lot. It's actually the main reason why Switch game cartridges are coated in a bitter non-toxic. Right! You know, that's actually smart. I think I heard about that quite a while ago. It's always a good thing to just make sure that kids do not eat anything they're not supposed to. Because even the best parents will lose sight of their child at one point. And then it's playing a game like what you would with your dog, like, hey, what do you have in your mouth? Spit that thing out, please. That's one thing I very occasionally think about is, like, if somehow, given my alien genes, I would have a child, they would be a menace, I fear. Because I am a menace. If they get my genes in general, oh dear, I will not be able to control them. Bitterness will not stop me. I mean, there's a certain level of bitterness that would like put off a child. I think. There's a certain level of bitterness that would put off any child from trying to eat it. Aren't all children menaced at first? Not all of them. Like the neighbor's child that we have here right now. She's just sweet. She just wants to look around. She's just curious. She hasn't done anything wrong. She doesn't cry all that much. She's just happy and strangely smart. That's one thing. Some kids are really smart. Like, you think baby means stupid? Usually, yes, but not with this child. Strangely genius, actually. Oh god, now I'm thinking of what the child between those two guys would look like. Hold on. Trying to... I think a child between Jinchi and Mao Mao would be the biggest menace of all time. Mao Mao would be an incredible mother, I'm not gonna lie. She would be stern, but she would allow them to play around. And Jinchi would be a very fun dad, I think. I am very curious how their relationship is gonna progress, because I have binged season 1 to 2 now, and I think the manga still needs to come out with anything new. I don't fully remember. I know that the novel, I think, is a lot further than the manga is. But I am really hoping that they have a little bit more of a good ending than anything else. You got a pet dog named Miss Garnet! Oh! Oh! Oh. Ducks are very sweet, and they're very protective as well. Which, one thing I learned recently about ducks is that they also eat mosquitoes. Ducks are actually so good. We need more duck appreciation in the world. They are very sweet animals. You can just tell them anything, and they will just go wah. Ducks are definitely sweeter than chickens. And I've taken care of chickens before. I have been pecked many a times. Until finally I decided, you know what? I'm done with this. If you try to peck me again, I'm gonna flip you over. And I did. And then they stopped pecking me. They taste good too. No! I've never eaten duck before. There are a few animals which I can never bring myself to eat. It's mainly like the higher intelligent ones, for example a pig. It's in essence just a dog. It's a dog that just happens to look hairless and looks quote-unquote stupid, but pigs are incredibly smart. And even though I have, like, cared for chickens and this and that, I still eat those because I need some type of meat. And usually chicken is the best bet because also it is cheaper than most other meats. A steak here costs like 10 euro, and I do not have that kind of money. For 10 euro you can get a whole different meal with that. Not just for one steak. 10 euro for a whole steak is a little little bit much. There we go. Ah, I missed a spot. If my kids get my genes, I'll be a smart gremlin menace. Hell yeah. As an uncle of two, they are psychopaths. Oh yeah! No, kids are brutal. If you have anything you're insecure about, a child will know it, they're gonna point it out, and they do not care about your feelings. They're very honest. That is one thing I can say. And they've not yet learned a lot of morals as well. It depends on the parents a lot of the time. I forgot his neck. Oh no, he's necklace. Oh well. It's fine, I'm gonna leave that like this. I'm gonna read you guys' chat a little bit more because I have to round off soon. Alright, let me see which comments I missed. Went to visit a friend at their uni in Ireland. There was a goose in a small park with a pond near their dorm. For whatever reason, it did not try to chase me away like it usually would do. Some geese are friendly. Although, a lot of geese are surprisingly friendly actually. It's mainly if you get near their nesting place or the places that they usually sleep that they get a little bit pissy. But aside from that, geese can be quite nice. But yeah. Pigs are adorable little creatures. I wish more people understood that they are technically just a dog, but they don't have any hair, and they're fat. That's pretty much what a pig is. Plus, bonus thing, pigs dig up a lot of good food. Truffles, for example, one of my favorite things to eat. I would need a pig if I ever wanted to find one like that. They know good food when they see it. Even though in technicality they can eat anything. Bron, you eating them is an act of revenge. The thing is with chickens is that they have a pecking order. This is built into them. The whole alpha and omega thing comes from chickens, not from wolves. A lot of people misinterpret this. Anything like, if a chicken shows any weakness, they're immediately lower on the pecking order. So if you get pecked a lot by chickens, really, the best thing to do, pick them up or like gently push them down with your hands to the floor, and then usually they will freeze up and they'll be like, oh, this guy's the boss. Okay, no more pecking. Especially if you flip them over. Then they're suddenly like, oh, I'm chill, I'm not gonna peck you anymore. Once they know who is the one who feeds them, chickens are pretty chill. Right now, the ones I take care of every now and then, they're fine, they're sweet, and they sometimes just come to cuddle as well. Before that, however, I was getting pecked. Before I figured out how to actually deal with chickens, I was getting pecked left and right. Alright, I think I'm gonna round things off here because I do need to prepare some things. A lot of people are gonna come over, which I don't do very well with a lot of people, but unfortunately I did not organize this event. I am just an unfortunate part of it, and I couldn't say no. So I'm gonna get some stuff prepared. I need to deal with some food and this and that. I probably need to make a dessert still. So I'm gonna round off here, but next week I'm gonna see. I might omit a schedule for next week because I don't really know how things are gonna turn out. But I'm definitely gonna be planning that ASMR stream, but I will need to figure out how I'm actually gonna set up the microphones, if I'm gonna be able to do binaural or not. I'll still have a look-see. Yeah. Introvert? See, the funny thing is, I am not an introvert. Just for some reason, I've not been around many people for a long time. I'm usually alone, so I've just kind of forgotten how to talk to people. I'm a bad extrovert. I'm not an introvert. That's my main problem. Because I usually like hanging around a lot of people, but if I haven't done it in a while, like especially with something like a lockdown, you just forget how to talk to people. I'll learn again eventually, but a little nervous. A little nervous. You smell lies? No! I do like hanging out with people, but I've just gotten so bad at it. Online, like here on a stream, I'm fine with it. For some reason. I don't know why. It just works for me. But like, in real life, I am a little bit shy. Not because of introversion, though. But yeah. I will see you guys all next week, though. For now, I am gonna hop off, because I still need to organize some stuff. Thank you all for coming by. I will finish this drawing in my free time, and I'm gonna put that up on Discord and Blue Sky. For now, though, I will hop off. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.